Hello, I'm Joseph Giunta, the music director and conductor of the Des Moines Symphony. I'm once again in my home studio with my music. It's my comfort space that I find humbling as I continue to study and uncover the secrets of some of these great masterworks you see behind me. During this period of isolation, we have launched a series of events on our social media platforms, DMSO at home, that we hope you continue to enjoy. Of course, nothing will ever replace live music, but this is the next best thing to bring to you, our loyal and dedicated audience, some music into your homes. In today's DMSO listening room, I will speak about the program that was to be performed this past March, but was postponed to September due to the pandemic. We are pleased to still be able to perform it for you. The program begins with the spirited and energetic 8th Symphony by Beethoven. It was written directly after his very popular 7th in 1812, and only took him 4 months to write. By then he was a very confident artist. He had comfortably taken Mozart's place as the premier living composer of Vienna of unrivaled success. But Beethoven had neither the charm or charisma that Mozart had, and due to his hearing loss and quirkiness, he lived as a recluse. Regardless of his personality, his music challenged traditional thinking and changed the way people thought about artists and art both then and now. His 8th Symphony is short by his standards and very uplifting and cheerful. The first movement begins with a burst of energy and fire like nothing else ever written before him. The propulsion and spirit demands the listener's attention immediately. The second movement was meant as an homage to his inventor friend Johann Nepomuk Mezl. His many inventions included hearing aids, which Beethoven used, as well as the metronome to help musicians to keep accurate time and rhythm. You can actually hear the metronome clicking away in the woodwinds, as well as Beethoven's frustrations with the timepiece when the music gets surprisingly loud and bold. You can just visualize him throwing the metronome across the room. The third movement is a throwback to the old minuet and trio of Haydn and Mozart's days, with gorgeous solos for the clarinet and French horn. And finally, the unbridled energy of the finale, a dance-like virtuoso display of joy and energy that ends this fabulous work in a flourish. His 8th Symphony, unfortunately, suffers because it's nestled between 2 great symphonies, his 7th and his 9th. But Beethoven himself felt this was a better piece than his 7th and his best symphony to date. A friend once asked him why the public was so excited by the 7th and not so much the 8th. He replied, because the 8th is better. Ever acerbic and a bit bitter. Now, in my previous video for the DMSO listening room on programming, I spoke about programs having a certain trajectory going smoothly from one piece to another. In this program, we go from Beethoven to Wagner, who idolized Beethoven, and that's the connection. Wagner's Siegfried Idol was never intended to be heard by the public. It was a combined birthday and Christmas gift from Richard Wagner to his wife Cosima. Wagner managed to assemble 13 musicians in his house in Triebschen, a district of the city of Lucerne in Switzerland, where he was living a very blissful life with his wife and 5 children. On December 25, 1870, Cosima wrote in her diary that when she woke up, she heard the most beautiful sounds. She thought she was dreaming. And what beautiful music it was. Listen. Once it was over, Wagner and the children presented her with a score that read the Triebschen Idyll, Fidi's Birdsong and Orange Sunrise. Fidi was the nickname of baby Siegfried, who would react to the birds singing. Orange Sunrise referred to the bright sunlight reflecting off the walls of the bedroom they shared together. We all benefited from his misfortune when Wagner had to sell the piece to his publisher 7 years later for financial reasons, changing the name to Siegfried Idol and releasing his gorgeous creation to the public. This is one of the very few orchestral pieces Wagner wrote, and the only one that is played regularly today. It's extraordinary music, which includes a melody from Act 3 of his opera Siegfried and a lullaby he composed a few years earlier. The music is unusually intimate and scored for a small string section, one of each woodwind except for 2 bassoons, 2 horns, and 1 trumpet. The music is uniquely restrained by someone known for his flamboyancy and over-the-top excesses. It's a fascinating glimpse into Wagner's private life. Now, I would like for you to imagine a piece written for large orchestra and chorus based on amoral lyrics created by medieval students and churchmen and then preserved in a manuscript by monks in Bavaria. Now also imagine the composer of this piece enjoying a friendship with the Nazi Party, and specifically Adolf Hitler in the 1930s. All of these facts are true and makes one wonder why no one has ever made a Hollywood movie out of this. Carl Orff's Carmina Burana is one of the most popular choral works ever written. There have been over 50 recordings of this piece since it was first premiered in 1937. There is nothing even close to its uniqueness in the repertoire and continues to appeal to audiences throughout the world today. Orff refers to his piece as a scenic cantata, which includes 24 poems sung in Latin, German, and Old French. The text includes a variety of subjects, including how fickle wealth can be, the changing moods of life, the joy of spring, and the pleasures and perils of drinking, gluttony, gambling, and lust. This text is as relevant today as it was when it was written in the 13th century. Orff incorporates the turning of the wheel of fortune, which allows him to change subject matters abruptly, for example, from joy to anger, or hope to grief. Now, Orff's major influences came from Renaissance and Baroque music. He admired the music of J.S. Bach and described the music of Monteverdi as mesmerizing, mysterious, and spiritual. And his orchestration and great attention to rhythm was greatly influenced by Igor Stravinsky, the most famous composer living during Orff's lifetime. The music is scored for a large orchestra, including 2 pianos, and a percussion section that includes 3 snare drums, bass drums, cymbals, triangle, ratchet, castanets, sleigh bells, tam-tam, tubular bells, glockenspiel, and xylophone. We all look forward to performing this program once it is safe for our community to gather. In the meantime, remember to visit our website, dmsymphony.org, for my suggested listening links. Next time, I'll be speaking about how non-classical music influenced my personal musical education and development. Thanks for tuning into the DMSO Listening Room. Stay well and safe.